And we are live. So now, what are we talking about here? Donald Trump is suing the Wall Street Journal. My man is taking everybody down, even taking down comedians, canceling people's show. He's on a rampage. You better not mess with a guy that has billions of dollars, enough money to sue everybody. And it doesn't bother him because he makes that money back winning the lawsuit. It is crazy. We're living in some crazy time, and it's the best time to be alive. So welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel. Let's take a look at, I'm sorry, bugging out. Let's take a look at Jesse Watters Primetime to see what other news he got that you're never going to hear on mainstream media. So you got to take a look at podcasting and other shows to get people's real opinion. Real opinion. So what are they talking about? Let's take a look. And it's a lot of crazy things happening, man. This is getting good. All right, we're going to take a look at the video. I'll pause it every now and then to give you guys my opinion.
Late night talk shows used to be an oasis for American families to come together at the end of the day and enjoy a laugh with the rest of the country. David Letterman led The Late Show for over 20 years and revolutionized the industry.
We will be dropping strange and peculiar objects out of the 7th floor of the Ed Sullivan Theater building. Hal, do me a turn on the camera out there. There we go. The biscuit's in place. There it is. On the snout. Ready? Here we go.
Wait.
Toss it. You got screwed. After decades of service in the late night war, Letterman retired, and Stephen Colbert was appointed as his heir. Despite Colbert making a name for himself as a partisan cable news comedian, the country was told he'd be a host for all Americans.
Obviously, the character he does on Comedy Central is going to be ending, but then he's going to bring Stephen Colbert to the table. And we have no question that this guy is so talented that, you know, the persona of Stephen Colbert is going to work so well in late night. It's going to be original, it's going to be smart, and it's going to be different than what anybody else has.
George Clooney and Jeb Bush were the guests of his first show. But things got a lot worse after Trump beat Hillary. Colbert caught a wicked case at Т:ДС, and he never recovered. He went off the deep end during COVID.
The vaccine.
Oh, man, the ratings.
That guy is the worst trying to earn ratings with the vaccine Democratic thing. It's insane. I'm telling you. And by the way, here we got ᗷᖇEᗩKITG in the background. Hopefully I get it to co-host the show with me. Little by little, one day she'll sit. For now, let's keep watching.
Tanked. Letterman averaged nearly 3 million in his final year. And today, Colbert is only averaging a little over 2 a night. This show is seen by close to 4 million a night. Now, the left's favorite late night mainstream mouthpiece has been let go after a decade of liberal lip service.
I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
But when Adam Schiff is a regular, you shouldn't be shocked when the bosses pull the plug.
So I just want to direct this, if this is the right camera, or maybe that's the right camera.
That's the right camera right there.
Donald, piss off.
After the show was done.
It's like you're telling the United States to piss off, right? That's the president of the United States. This just looks like this is the main reason why he's getting let go.
Schiff came out swinging with a new hoax. Quote, just finished taping with Stephen Colbert, who announced his show was canceled. If Paramount and CBS ended The Late Show for political reasons, the public deserves to know and deserves better. Pocahontas is picking up on pencil neck smoke signals and is already offering to chair the first Senate powwow. Quote, CBS canceled Colbert's show just 3 days after Colbert called out CBS parent company Paramount for its $16 million settlement with Trump. A deal like that looks like bribery. America deserves to know if his show was canceled for political reasons. While D.C. Democrats try to impeach Trump a third time because their favorite comedian got canned, Colbert's friends in the media are dusting off the dictator hoax.
This is textbook authoritarian rule. This is not just a media story. It's a free speech funeral in slow motion.
It's not even like they're trying to hide the main purpose of it. This just makes it look completely connected with the 60 Minutes settlement.
I think people are right to think that there may be something going on here beyond purely financial calculations and that politics are.
No, this is the conspiracy theory from the left, the Democratic conspiracy theories. That holds no weight. I tell you, I'm tired of the Democrats just putting fear in people. That's all they do, and now it's not working.
Part of it.
Paramount says this has nothing to do with politics, and it's purely a financial decision. And for the first time ever, I believe CBS. Colbert's show has been bleeding the company dry. It loses $40 million a year. It somehow costs over $100 million to produce a single season. And Colbert's salary, $20 million a year. Even if he took a pay cut, it still wouldn't help.
Think back to 2023 when the Late Late Show with James Corden went off the air. I reported at the time that that show had become unprofitable, that CBS was not able to sell enough ads to make that show profitable. Well, that is now the case for Colbert as well. I'm told by a source close to the network that the Late Show with Stephen Colbert is now technically unprofitable. So that does give the company a financial reason to end the show.
And if your show's a subsidized liberal charity case on life support, is it smart to call half the country Nazis while they're in their pajamas?
One massive part of the conversation that's been completely omitted from this, and that is when you do a show that attacks half of America every night and you don't have conservatives on, and by the way, you're not funny, but attacking half of America and your ratings suck, you might lose your show.
But there's a lot of reasons why the Colbert ratings are not working out that have nothing to do with the political divide you're talking about.
But it's constant. He's having on Democrats to trash Trump. He has constantly been trashing conservatives. He referred to Donald Trump as a Nazi lover in 2017.
Liberal late night TV is unfunny and unprofitable. And celebrities can promote their movies and shows on other platforms. White, black, man, women, gay, and straight. Everyone's getting 86 by the mainstream media. And it has nothing to do with identity politics. It's about money and ideology.
Capitalism rules every single time, down to the dollar. The man is not making enough money, well, then you are gone. Period.
Let's be honest. I don't think you were fired after all those years because of your skin color or because you're a black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV.
Yep.
That's why you got let go. Why play the race card?
First of all, I love the fact that your play the race card is your version of the race card. You literally are so fixated on trying to racialize conversations with me, Piers. I find it.
No, they are fixated and talking about race. And another thing, you can't really feel sorry for these people because they made millions. Like, I don't see her spending that money or all the other millionaires spending their money in their lifetime. So they're good. That's what you can't feel bad about. Millionaires getting fired. They still living life as millionaires.
Actually, quite
you
charming.
racialize more
It's
conversations
in your
tenure
I'm having a
at
conversation with Mark
MSNBC
Hill that
than
you're
any
clipping bits
host
of.
in
All right,
history.
all right, Mark. All right, Piers.
TDS and no talent, that is a toxic combo. And a lot of highly paid people are finding out with pink slips. PBS, NPR, they became government-funded propaganda pieces, and now their government funding's going adios. Liberals say without our propaganda, though, we're all going to die.
This is the end of a publicly funded media era. Radio and TV stations will have to lay off staffers and cut back on programming.
This is completely outrageous. They rely on a series of public broadcasting to get alerts out.
People need a meet.
I'm sorry. I was talking and sorry about that. Let me go back to what I was saying. Yeah, all these networks got to be taken down, and Trump is doing us a favor, defunding all these networks. Thank you, Trump. Here's a comment from Thomas Hansen. It says Galveston, Texas, is Trump Nation. So yeah, let's all give props to Trump for what he's doing. All right, he is defunding all these agencies that are just destroying this country. Let's see more complaints from the Democrats. Check it out.
Immediate, up-to-date alerts to stay safe. And sometimes, all too often, public broadcasting is the only way for people to hear what's going on. It's a matter of life and death.
People used to trust the mainstream media, kind of, back when the media was a little more trustworthy. But Fox, talk radio, social media, they changed that. Now they trust us. The country was given a choice, and those choices have consequences. Being lectured by a drama queen isn't informative or entertaining. Here's a CBS reporter who claims he has PTSD after the Butler shooting, but not because he was almost shot. He thought the crowd was going to kill him.
For those of us there, it was such a horror because you saw an emerging America. And it wasn't the shooting, Chuck. I got diagnosed with PTSD within 48 hours. I got put on trauma leave, not because I think of the shooting, but because you saw it in the eyes, the reaction of the people. They were coming for us. If he didn't jump up with his fist, they were going to come kill us.
I know. Trump got shot in the head, and the reporter says he's the one who almost died. We are in a new era. It's called the Golden Age, and the legacy media is going the way of the dinosaurs, and Trump's happy to nudge him into extinction.
Yeah.
Do you even need late night comedy with this kind of material in the White House?
We worked hard. It's a very important act, the Genius Act. They named it after me, and I want to thank you. This is not an auto pen, by the way.
White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs is here. David, we're going to get to that in a second, but you're a very financially savvy individual. Do you believe that late night TV is going to be extinct soon because it's so unprofitable?
Probably, Jesse. I mean, I think this is the millionth case of go woke, go broke. I mean, Colbert's ratings have declined by something like a third over the past few years because people are tired of the pontificating. And I know Democrats are bemoaning the loss of what they're calling an important voice, but that's the whole problem here is that once a late night comic starts thinking of themselves as an important voice instead of a joke teller, they stop being funny. And that's what happened with Colbert. And that appears to be happening with the whole format because none of them can be funny anymore.
So this is comedians taking themselves too seriously.
Yep.
And then the executive is taking them out.
Yep.
Yeah, they basically are, overpaid podcasters at this point.
And your podcast, very successful. You guys don't seem to take yourselves that seriously. You take yourselves less seriously than a professional comedian, and your show's a hit.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We just, talk about current events, whatever's interesting to us. We don't try to purport to be important voices. We don't try to represent anyone else or a movement. We just say what we think in a format that's entertaining to people because it's four friends talking and disagreeing very frequently.
Let it be known. People talking is a new wave, man. Podcasting, all right? Putting your thoughts and ideas out there. That's it. Not just the mainstream media. So shout out to everybody doing a podcast. By the way, if you're still watching, remember to give this video a like. So like that we could spread the word and get more people involved.
Do you buy into I guess you'd call it a conspiracy theory that Trump got Colbert fired for attacking him every night?
Well, this is what the Democrats have been doing to Trump for 10 years now, is that they keep making up these hoaxes, these lies, these distractions. They throw mud at him. And it doesn't work. I mean, his poll numbers just keep going up. It's never worked because he just keeps focusing on delivering victories. And they keep focusing on making up these, distractions. And you see President Trump, like today with the crypto bill or earlier in the week where we went to the energy summit in Pennsylvania, he keeps focusing on delivering real progress for working Americans. And that is why his poll numbers keep going up and their poll numbers keep going down. The Democrats are not the party of ideas. They don't have any ideas. They don't have any solutions unless you want to talk about democratic socialism.
It's funny. I thought the Democrats were the intelligent one. I thought they were the intelligent party, the most intelligent one, and the Republican were the racist one. But not anymore. We can see now that is a lie. All right? The Democrats are actually dumb.
You know what else?
I mean, I don't want to disrespect anybody. I'm just saying they need to come up with better, smarter individuals to run for office. But right now, they got all the dumb ones running for office. And all the smart Democrats out there, but I'm just saying the ones running for office right now, not too bright.
Keeps going up, David. Bitcoin. I just looked at it today. Someone gave me a little piece of advice after Donald Trump got sworn in. He said, buy Bitcoin. And I took that advice, and I'm very happy with that. I probably don't own as much as you do, but you're a lot smarter than I am. What is going on in the Bitcoin world that we need to know about?
Well, we had a historic day today. This was the first time that we ever had crypto legislation signed into law, thanks to President Trump's leadership. This was a campaign promise. He said that he was going to make the United States the crypto capital of the planet. And under the previous 4 years, all the innovation was being driven offshore because the founders, the innovators were being prosecuted without telling them what the rules were. And today, this Genius Act provides the first set of rules for what are called stable coins or digital dollars so that crypto companies can be in compliance. They know what the laws are, and the innovation can happen here in the United States. And this is the beginning, Jesse, of a revolutionary new payment system. It's going to be cheaper, it's faster, it's more direct. That's going to bring down costs for consumers across the world. And it's going to strengthen the US dollar because anyone in the world who has a crypto wallet can now start using digital dollars. And so you could start seeing in countries where the people don't trust their own currencies, you could see them move to the US dollar, and that strengthens the US dollar and creates demand for our US treasuries. So this is President Trump extending US dollar dominance into this new high-tech era.
That sounds like common sense to me. Should I have Fox pay me in Bitcoin?
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Okay. I'll have to raise that next contract.
There's only the thing about Bitcoin is there's only 21 million of them that have ever been produced or can be produced. And people for 15 years have been trying to hack it and prove that they can counterfeit a Bitcoin, and they've never been able to do it. So it doesn't mean that it couldn't happen in the future, but with each passing year, the system seems to be stronger and stronger. So I'm not telling anyone what to do or what to buy.
All right.
I'm a fan.
David Sachs is not a financial advisor tonight. He's just telling you the truth. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Have a great weekend. Fox News alert. We just got a peek inside Obama's black book, and it turns out Barack knew the Russia hoax was a hoax all along, but pushed it anyway to sabotage the Trump presidency. DNI Tulsi Gabbard declassifying pages and pages of documents, showing Obama's intel guys briefed him just weeks after the 2016 election that the Russians didn't actually sway the election. Quote, we assessed that Russian and criminal actors did not impact the recent U.S. election results. Criminal activity also failed to reach the scale and sophistication necessary to change election outcomes. But Obama just couldn't accept that. So he and his staff instructed intel agencies to cook up new reports to support Russia collusion. Quote, after the meetings, Clapper's executive assistant emailed intelligence community leaders, tasking them to create a new intelligence community assessment per the president's request that detailed the tools Moscow used and actions it took to influence the 2016 election. Tulsi Gabbard described what she found as a conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people. And she says the people involved should be prosecuted and has made a criminal referral to the Department of Justice. We knew Hillary created the dossier, and now we have proof that Barack was calling the shots.
That's crazy. You know, they can't do anything to Barack Obama, and our first black president. It's a tough sale.
And the documents to prove it. Let's bring in founder of Public News, Michael Schellenberger. All right, Mike, how big is this?
Hey, Jesse, great to be with you. First of all, it's very big news. It's great to see this coming from the ODNI, from Tulsi Gabbard. She's already released a huge amount of documents that people are aware of around JFK. This is a huge tranche of documents that they've declassified and released to the public. And what they showed, Jesse, is exactly what you said, that they knew early on that there was no hacking of election machines. That was very clear to them. And so then they had to, but they wanted to keep using the word hacking almost certainly to be misleading, to mislead the public. I mean, I myself remember hearing about hacking of the elections, and I thought they were talking about the voting machines. They were just using that metaphorically, but they got the Washington Post and other mainstream news media outlets to talk about that, I think, in that way. And what they were really referring to was the release of Hillary Clinton's emails, totally unrelated to what was happening on Election Day. They were just talking about, what was in Clinton and Podesta's emails. Didn't have anything to do with hacking election machines. Jesse, I think the bottom line is this is another instance where you see the Democrats having projected what they were doing onto Donald Trump. The Obama administration was undermining public confidence in the elections, deliberately undermining confidence in the elections, and then accusing the Trump campaign of doing the very same thing.
Do you believe that the alleged FBI investigation into Comey and into Brennan is also related to these documents? And could there be more people under investigation?
Yeah, well, I mean, there is still so much more to be released. I mean, you may remember that we had reported that it was really earlier in 2016 that Obama's CIA director got foreign assets to basically bump into, to get information to and out of pretty junior Trump campaign staffers in order to then create a predicate for the FBI to open its investigation, which, if you can follow the steeplechase here, was basically all aimed at leaking information to the news media to create a perception that Trump was somehow compromised by the Russians. And that's just what keeps coming up and over and again. They knew that they didn't have the actual intel or any evidence to actually bring any charges against Trump because, of course, he didn't do any of the things they were accusing him of, but they were constantly leaking to the news media. And that was one of the things that we saw revealed today in these new documents, is that they were using the intelligence community essentially as a public relations arm.
I guess now we know when Trump said, "I used to be the hunted, but now I'm the hunter," what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Mike Schellenberger, great to see you. Great analysis. Thanks so much. An update on the Epstein files, plus the Obamas go to couples therapy.
I think we all know that the law, justice, is very slow, right? And the president only got 3.5 more years. So it'll be nice if we see anybody getting convicted or anybody really being in trouble for all that Trump hoax or Russia hoax, So what's going to happen to Obama? We are living in some crazy times and we might see something happen. At the speed that Trump is moving, he might just get it done. But let me know what you think. Let me fast forward past the commercials and let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video clip. All right. Next segment, the Epstein file. Man, why haven't they released the client list? That's all we're waiting for. So let's see if they do it. All right, here we go.
At the president's request, Pam Bondi has just filed a motion to unseal the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell grand jury testimony. As you remember, in 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was indicted in New York on child sex trafficking charges, and he mysteriously died in prison. The Madam Maxwell was indicted the next year, and she's been convicted and is on appeal. A judge must approve the release, which could take weeks. The full extent of what the FBI has collected is still unknown. This is a big step to learning more about these evil people. There's still documents to unseal in the Florida case, and mountains of evidence that the FBI seized from Epstein's homes, which we're still very curious about. And we'll keep bringing you updates as everything unfolds. Biden's phone's back on, but nobody's calling. Not Barack, not Mamala, not Hunter. He usually calls for cash. Democrats don't care about their ex anymore. They won't even whisper Biden's name at family functions. One aide pretended the relationship never happened.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution. Pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution. Pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Next, they're bringing in the binder to testify. Let's hope she brings that binder. Everyone in Biden world's filing for a restraining order. They blocked Otto Penn's number and deleted the beach pics. Democrats are searching for a new thrill. They're getting a little crazy and stalking a new dude. They know where he lives, what he does, what he eats, and are obsessed over his body.
Photos of President Trump circulating online have raised some questions 6 months now into his second term.
The pictures show that the president's ankles recently have been swollen and there is bruising on the back of his right hand.
You know, they never studied the president this much because you never heard no reports on Biden until after he lost, or everybody noticed that the man was sick. But look at Trump, what they're doing.
And when the White House discovered this, what kinds of tests did they do? What did we learn from what they released?
Well, they were concerned, obviously, about whether there was something more serious going on.
Scarborough broke out the stethoscope.
I wish Congress could do something, could pass a law requiring, again, medical records. I mean, how do we get to a point that we can have an independent medical exam for whomever is the next president, the president's beyond? Because for people like you that have to report on.
But they always do medical exam, and it's public information. So what is he talking about?
Presidents, you're just sort of whistling in the dark.
Biden was falling and forgetting and coughing up a lung for 4 years, but Trump's got a hand bruise and they want him airlifted to Walter Reed. This is toxic behavior, and Primetime knows the problem. Democrats have daddy issues. Daddy Barry's been out of town for a while now. He only comes home every election season, but he does send postcards, and he's got a life update, couples therapy.
This one's for couples, 14 questions. Who apologizes the first after a fight?
God.
Who's the funny one?
Yeah, right.
Who's more romantic?
Yeah, right.
Who's more patient? Who's the messy one? Who works out more? Who requires more attention?
While Barack works on his marriage, AOC's planning her own. She swears
AOC's getting a little bit fat. So that's it. That youthful beauty is going away. So she better make use of it before it's gone. Look at them arms. Jesus.
Zoolander's the one. Others are hot and bothered too, like Pocahontas. She hasn't been this turned on since the Skins won the Super Bowl. She wants Kami Mamdani to be the chief of New York City supermarkets.
He said, we've got a problem with entire food deserts where people can't get access to grocery stores. Said, I'd like to take a look at whether or not we can have some kind of, like we do on military bases, you have some kind of support from the city government.
No.
While Aunt Pocahontas plans the wedding registry, AOC is throwing a big, beautiful bridal shower in Brooklyn. One catch. Uncle Hips Don't Lie Hakeem showed up, and he's not easy to impress. Right off the bat, Zoolander got catfished. Hakeem's hips didn't match the ones in the Photoshop. It was also an away game for Zoolander. This was Hakeem's borough. They had a man-to-man talk, lasted about an hour. Zoran promised he'd change.
You said that you would discourage the use of the slogan, globalize the Intifada.
I've thought about this quite a lot. And for some New Yorkers, this phrase is one that refers to civil disobedience and protest. And it is why I have not used the phrase, and it is why I discourage its use. I've been very clear about the fact that I'm not a communist. I'm a democratic socialist. I will not defund the police. I have not been running on defunding the police. I've said time and again, I will sustain the headcount of the police department.
Hakeem didn't buy it, and Zoran didn't get his blessing. The family's not sold on the commie. AOC's going to dress shop soon, and things are moving fast. But Zoolander already bought the ring. This ceremony's happening. And Joe not getting an invite. Tyler Pager is the author of 2024, How Trump Retook the White House and the Democrats Lost America. All right, Tyler, you were the one that called Joe Biden and got him on the phone. What happened?
Yeah, so my colleague Josh Dawsey interviewed Donald Trump down at Mar-a-Lago 10 days before the inauguration. We're working on this book about the 2024 election. Joe Biden is a key part of that story. And we thought it was critical to make sure that he had an opportunity to weigh in on the range of questions we had. His aides told me that speaking for our book would conflict with the memoir he was writing. But after the election in March, I got his phone number, gave him a call. Didn't leave a message, he didn't pick up, but a little bit while later, he called me back. I told him what I was working on, and he said, I'm about to have dinner, give me a call the next day. Immediately after we ended that call, I got texts and calls from his aides. But I called him back the next morning like he told me to. He happened to be boarding an Amtrak train. Very briefly, we spoke, and he didn't say, don't call me back, none of that. But he hung up to get on the train, answered 2 very brief questions, said he had no regrets about what unfolded. And then I tried to call him back later, went straight to voicemail. 2 days later, I got a Verizon wireless message that said the number had been changed or disconnected.
Do you think Joe changed the number or his aides did?
I can't speculate on that. All I know is that I can no longer reach him.
Okay. Well, we couldn't reach him for 4 years. The Obamas, are they taken as seriously as they used to be taken? You see them doing these little couples videos. How does the party think about these two?
Yeah, I think the party still sees them as popular with their base and helpful, or to turn out voters around elections. We've seen them stage those big rallies, but it's clear that they don't have the same power that they once had to win elections, right? We saw Barack Obama traveled the country campaigning with Kamala Harris, exhorting, particularly black men to come out and support Kamala Harris. And Trump did better with black men than any Republican nominee had done for quite some time.
Yeah, the brothers are not listening to Barack Obama anymore. People are listening to this guy, Mamdani. He's caught fire here in Manhattan. I don't know what that means for the rest of the country, but the rest of the country seems a little frightened. How are Democrats dealing with this upstart?
It is scary. The guy just said it. He's a socialist. And it's not getting through people's head. What does that even mean? It's actually not a good thing. Only young people will think it's a good thing, but it's not. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Let's keep listening.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as you said, there's a lot of excitement here in New York City for him, and there's trepidation in other parts of the party about what he represents. And I think we're seeing some of that play out with the slow or lack of embrace from national Democratic figures, including some here in New York. I think some Democrats would much rather be talking about candidates like Abigail Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill as potential futures of the Democratic Party leadership. But I think we will see this play out over the course of the 2028 primary. I imagine it will be quite crowded with a lot of Democrats each trying to claim the mantle of the future of the party. But also, as we see, Mamdani is going to have some challenges, Andrew Cuomo, Eric Adams. And so it'll be interesting to see how he potentially moderates moving into the fall.
All right. Thank you very much. Great.
I actually hope he wins, because it will be a learning lesson. Going through the chaos of having that guy as the mayor, man, the city's just going to be turned upside down. Like, what are we doing? How can this guy be the mayor? But that's the only reason I want him to win. Just so we could see how chaotic he is.
Reporting, your book is very good. Tell us where to get it and the name of it one more time.
Yeah, it's called 2024, How Trump Retook the White House and Democrats Lost America. It's available anywhere you buy books, Amazon, local bookstores, Barnes & Noble. Hope you pick up a copy. I think there's a lot your viewers will learn.
All right, where books are sold, as they say. Thank you so much. Dangerous Dwarves, Trans Strippers, and the Spanish Smollett. Straight ahead.
Let me pause it right there. By the way, man, if that guy in New York City wins, and then there's another guy in Ohio, I think it is, he's similar to Zohan, that's his name, to the guy in New York, where they're talking about helping. They're talking about the government helping the community. And people don't get it, that the last thing you want the government to do is to financially help the community or any other kind of help. Like, just maintain order. That's the only thing that people want from the government, or should want. So if you're not in that space and that mentality that you want the government outside of your life, that's something you need to think about. Because the more we get the government involved, the worse it is for everybody. All right, now let me fast forward past the commercials and finish up with this last segment of Jesse Watters. But remember, don't go anywhere before giving this video a thumbs up, so like that more and more people can take a look at this. All right. Let's go back to Jesse.
While they strip on the streets, mini Antifa's bouncing reporters away from ICE action. Watch.
Why do you conceal your identity? Everyone knows who you are. Get hurt.
Before you get hurt. That's it.
Because your daddy didn't love you. You weren't his special girl. Is that what it was? Or were you too much of his special little girl?
The best way, stopping stripping Trantifa dwarves, make them overdose on TDS and blast their eardrums with Trump's golden voice. So now they're bringing out weapons. In Sacramento, a bearded icebreaker thought he could mess with a raid by slashing the patrol's tires, but he got curb stomped. ICE raided a California Home Depot and arrested 11 illegals, many of them with criminal records. One Mexican national had nearly 70 priors. But Gavin says that's his bad hombre. Hands off.
I worry about people's lives. I'm telling you, we're on the verge. This is serious. I mean, if someone just randomly, if I'm walking down the street with my kids and someone grabs me with a mask on and tries to throw me in an unmarked van, and I am looking at my kids, I'm surprised someone hasn't gotten hurt. Someone is going to get hurt.
Gavin called ICE a bunch of tough guys, and they're saying guilty as charged.
If it's going after child molesters and kidnappers, and that makes me a tough guy, and rescuing children from forced labor and that type of thing, then I'm guilty as by God charged. Guilty as charged. If making mom and pa America a safer place, if that makes me a tough guy, guilty as charged.
Yeah. Some hombres are just asking for it. Remember Jussie Smollett? Meet Juanita Smollett.
On June 30th, the family of Juliana Julia Peláez Calderón held a press conference claiming she had been kidnapped, possibly by federal agents.
There's plenty of families going through this nightmare right now where we don't know where our relatives, where our loved ones are at this moment.
It turns out, according to Homeland Security, Calderón wasn't missing at all. Federal agents found her shopping at a market in Bakersfield. The 41-year-old undocumented woman who lived in South Los Angeles is now facing federal charges, including conspiracy and making false statements to federal officers.
You know, that's crazy because she should have went with the $1,000 that the government was giving immigrants plus a ticket back to her home country. You don't got to go to jail. You can do whatever you want with your money now. And now you have to go through the process. This is the worst case scenario. So I'm pretty sure the $1,000 plus a flight to your home country is way better than going through the system.
Why would an illegal fake a deportation? Does it have anything to do with the thousands of dollars in donations that she got? Well, those dollars are going to get converted to pesos because Juanita's going home. Florida Congresswoman Ana Paulina Luna joins us.
But also, shout out to Juanita. That means she came across the border. So she's been on the move for a while. And then found a home here with her family for a while until she did this to get money. So shout out to Juanita for being brave enough to cross the border.
Now, Congresswoman, it doesn't look like these are normal Americans on the front lines marching and protesting anymore. They're not sending their best.
They're definitely not. And actually, Jesse, I believe last time I was on with you, I was talking about how Neville Singham was that billionaire that was funding all this. Well, it turns out, Jesse, here's an update that he's not responding to Congress. So Jamie Comer, the chairman of House Oversight, is currently writing a letter to the U.S. Treasury to seize assets. You see, they're taking this and they're using it for political propaganda. Also interesting to note, Jesse, in the previous segment, you had addressed Mondani. Well, Jews for Mondani is actually also funded by Neville Singham's niece. All ties back to the CCP.
Follow the money, and you usually find some billionaire foreign guy controlling everything. Newsom is basically suggesting that people should fight back when ICE comes to get them, isn't he?
He is. And I would say that everything that he's doing, he's trying to angle, I believe, for a 2028 presidential run. I also saw a clip of him recently kind of talking about it. But ultimately, this is going to really backfire on him. And I would say that his rhetoric, if anyone gets hurt, I would actually say that he should probably be responsible, because everything that he's done is really putting these officers' lives at risk.
Yeah, most of the time when ICE goes into red states, they have backup from the locals. When they go to California, they're rolling solo. So this is when you're seeing a lot of the action, and it looks like it's getting violent. It is a little interesting, Congresswoman, that these migrants are perpetrating hoaxes just like Americans. It's like they almost can fit in here.
Crazy.
Maybe, I'll crack my own joke. I'm glad that someone reported her to law enforcement, and I do think that she'll probably be getting in trouble for that. But all kidding aside, what they're doing is exploiting really the innocent people. No one's in the leftist media is asking Gavin Newsom why he's not giving commentary on all those children that ICE ended up rescuing from that pot farm in California. And I think that it's important to remind the American people that Gavin Newsom is not condemning that. He's actually supporting the exploitation of children on farms.
So we saw AOC bring her new flame, Mandami, down to Capitol Hill, and everybody got really giddy. What was the scene like down there for you?
There wasn't too much commotion. Actually, the DNC headquarters for that stuff is actually only a few blocks away from the Longworth office building. But what I will tell you is I do believe Democrats are kind of looking for new blood. Their messaging has flopped. Everyone rejected the they-them energy. And it looks like they're still going to be out on who's going to run in 2028.
All right. Communists, strippers, and dwarves. It's a crazy Friday night on primetime. Have a good one. Anna Paulina Luna. Sink or swim. That's next.
All right. One more segment of Jesse Watters Primetime. But yeah, the Democrats, they're running out of message. They have no idea what to talk about and what to bring up, except for Donald Trump is bad. Donald Trump is evil. And Home Depot, watch out. All the ICE agents are going to Home Depot and taking everybody down. So for illegal migrants, not the place to go work. So the Democrats are running out of things to say. But what are we talking about? Insane. All right, let's take a look at the last segment of Jesse Watters, and then we're going to call it quits.
I don't know how everybody has my email address, but I mean, just don't say tampon. Stop with the Rosie O'Donnell stuff. And now you're saying that I have what looks like a cancerous lump on my neck. I do not have neck cancer, okay? Sometimes when I get a little agitated, my vein pops out right here. It's not a node, and I'm not going to the doctor. But thanks for your concern. Texts. John from Lexington, Kentucky. Low ratings equal cancellations. It's as simple as that. Don't blow it, Watters. I'm not going to sink, I promise. Tim from New York. I heard Colbert is moving to Ireland and buying a farm. Great. So we'll have more of him then on the show. Cindy from New Hope, Pennsylvania. Who diagnosed that CBS reporter with PTSD? Was it Biden's doctor? Well, we can't even ask them, because if we did, they'd plead the fifth.
Probably.
Carrie from Mesa, Arizona. Just curious, who pays for a communist wedding? We all do. Kim from Wildwood, Florida. Communists, strippers, and dwarves. Oh my. It's a hot Friday show. It's all for us tonight. DVR.
All right, the end of the week. And another win for Trump. This week, man, the guy just keeps winning and winning. So far, he only got one loss with the Epstein client list that everybody attacks him for about it. And I'm pretty sure he's going to come up with a solution for next week. Besides that, nothing but wins. The man just sued a bunch of networks, made a bunch of money, and suing more and more people. Let's see, man. The money just keeps coming in. All the money that he spent to run for president, looks like he's getting all that back. For doing a job that's for free, because Trump is not charging them a salary to run the country. That's insane. And let's just give it up for him. By the way, my name is Noel, here at Verbal on Live. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, so like that we can reach more and more people. I'm going to continue to stream on this channel, hopefully get more people's attention, all right? And just be honest with the audience. No more fake news. That's it. They're losing viewers. They're canceling shows, just like that comedian. and it's just going downhill. But in order for them to go downhill, that means somebody else got to be moving up, and that's us podcasting. I'm trying to get a host here. All right. All right. So I'm going to get a new host to sit next to me and be able to talk to you guys. All right. I just called her name. She doesn't want to come, but it is what it is. The trick to life is to stay hopeful and look forward positively. You know, the future is going to be better and it's going to be good, especially with Trump in office, because the golden age is coming. And my assumption is he's going to balance the budget before he leaves. That'll be amazing because everybody says he won't and he can't. But except for him, he's saying that he's going to be able to pull it off. And if he does, oh man, the man should win a Pulitzer Prize. But what do I know, right? We only listen to professionals and all these scholar elites who know it all or think they know it all. But at the end of the day, they know it all to make money from regular people and keep us down. That's what they know how to do. If you think about it, really. How to fatten their pockets. I think that sounds good. How to just get more money out of regular hardworking people. But what do I know? I did go to college, get a degree in mathematics. I should have done engineering. That's where the money is. Something in AI, computer engineering, you know? They would have made a lot of money. But let me not bore you guys. Again, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. All day. Ven acá, sentarte. Well, I couldn't get her to come. It'll be nice to get a female co-host. That'll be amazing. It's going to come. So keep checking us out. And I want to keep pushing for her to come here. ¿Qué pasó? Oh, de que tú la cabeza, ven acá. Got to talk to her in Spanish because she doesn't speak English. But that's how it is. What else should I let you guys know? Yes. So Noel here on Verbal Life and Fisticuffs. Also, I'm coming up with a new channel called the Noel and ᗷᖇEᗩKITG Unfiltered. It has 3 subscribers, but you know, eventually, hopefully by next year, it'll be good. This is just a start. All right, it's almost 10 o'clock. With that said, see you in the next one.